Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to introduce my new creation, BotForge, a product that I created that lets you design robots in your browser. Let's jump right in by getting started. Once you sign in, you'll be greeted with this screen. It shows all your projects and lets you create new projects. Let's start by creating a new project. After creating the project, we are introduced to this editor. On the left, we have the path section. These are the paths that can be used in our project. On the right, we have the part controls and environment settings. In the center, we have the 3D viewport. We can hold the left mouse button to orbit around the object in focus, the right mouse button to pan, and the scroll wheel to zoom. To start with, let's design a simple CNC based 3D printer. What we have here is the chassis. This is the fundamental part where we can attach other parts. Let's right click to select it, and now we can see that there are part controls here being populated. Here we can see we can adjust the length on the X, Y and Z. Let's increase the length a bit, and this should be enough. What we have here is a huge section where we can attach parts. For the 3D printer, we will need multiple axes. We will need the X, Y and Z axes. Let's start with the horizontal X axis. We can add parts by selecting the part here by clicking on it. And once the part loads up, we can see here double click to attach the part, and we can double click here to attach the part. Let's first pan around a bit, and let's attach the part right here. And how do we attach the part is by double clicking on the part where we are attaching. Now this is vertical, we need it to be in horizontal direction, so let's adjust that, and there you go, this is in the horizontal direction. Now we can pan and zoom around to adjust our view, and as you can see, this linear actuator has a moving part called the shuttle. We can adjust the shuttle position. It's on 0.38 right now. We can take it back, or we can take it around. Let's reset it back to where it was. This will basically allow us to attach various parts. Let's start by adding a heat bed here for the 3D printer. We will use the cube mount flexi part, and we attach it right here. There you go. Let's resize it such that it looks like a heat bed, and we can do that by holding this key here, and we can also increase the Z. I think we should use the arrow keys here by clicking on this, and that will increase it faster. I think 5 is good enough. Let's set it to 5, and let's do this for the X scale as well, and that should look good enough for a heat bed. And I think it is floating, so let's get it down for a bit by adjusting the local position Y. There you go. And now, like I promised, we should be able to move this around. So now we've sorted the horizontal X axis. Now we need to look at the Z and the Y axes. Let's start by introducing another linear actuator, and we should mount it right here in the center. Oops, I don't think it is in the center, so let's just adjust it by unlinking it or disconnecting it, and adjust it right here in the center. Right, we double click to attach, and now once it attached, we have the vertical axis. And now, like I mentioned, we can have the parent-child relationships. We can attach another linear actuator right here, and this should allow us to take control of both the remaining axes, that is the Z axis and the Y axis. So if we change the position here, you can see it adjusts the Z axis position, and the remaining Y axis position can be adjusted. So now let's just get this down for a bit so that we can attach the extruder. Let's pan down a bit. Now we have a nice view. Let's just take our new cube mount again to create the extruder. We attach the extruder here. Let's scale it up in a way that it looks like an extruder. We can hold the mouse here and then we can drag to scale it up and down. If we want to scale by larger amounts, we can use the arrow keys like I mentioned earlier. And this looks good enough, but we'll need to reduce it a little more. That kind of looks like an extruder, but it's kind of floating, so let's adjust the position as well. Yes, that looks good enough. Let's change the color for a bit to make it look like an extruder. And there you go. Now if we adjust these positions, we can see we can adjust the printer in a way that it covers all the sections. This is how we can design a very simple 3D printed setup. To view this in full screen, we can press the full screen button, and now we are able to view this in full screen. We can zoom in, we can see all the details however we want. We can exit out of full screen, and now we have our 3D printer ready. Also, don't forget to save your project by clicking on the save button. And once you see the tick, you know the project has been saved. You can also undo stuff or redo stuff, and you can also change your project settings here by renaming or changing the description. If you want to export your project, you can click on export image and you can adjust the background whatever you want, and you can click on export, and now you should have the exported image which you can see. Once you save your project, you can go to the project section, and now you should be able to see your project right here. You can re-access the project by clicking on it, and you should be now introduced to your old project. There you go. You can also visit the store for seeing what parts are available. Okay folks, that's it for now. Do give BotForge a try with the link in the description below. And also like, share and subscribe if you want to follow along as I build products like BotForge.